Hello and welcome to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. I am Craig Forrestall. I am That Sports Guy. Go ahead and find me on Twitter at that_sports_guy, where you can find all of my latest football takes. Also, NFLDraftDiamonds.com is proud to feature the That Sports Guy podcast on its website. Stop by NFLDraftDiamonds.com, your official draft coverage king. Hello and welcome to another player profile interview. I am Craig Forrestall. You know me from Twitter as at that_sports_guy, but we know who it's all about. It's all about the guy on the other end. And today we have Valdosta State defensive lineman Corey Brown Jr. with us. Corey, what's going on your side?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I always like it when I get to carve out a little bit of time and get to learn about the next generation of ballers that's coming through the pipeline. So let's just go ahead and let's see where it all started. DC, that's home, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was a normal day like for you growing up?
Well, a normal day in this DC, it was just regularly it was tough with me by like surroundings and understanding what was going on around you and just not trying to adapt to that and just evolve from that and going to like one of the top schools in DC, which is Woodrow Wilson High School, and then leaving DC for a little bit to attend schools in Maryland, such as Suitland High School, and finishing up at the Avalon School in Gaithersburg, Maryland. It just showed how different environments really impacted me as a person rather than me sticking to the culture of DC, but still not forgetting where I came from.
And I saw that you said in a previous interview that it was really your mom and your faith that really shaped you into the person that you are today. And like you mentioned, being in some different environments. So maybe if you could just talk to how your mother was such a big influence on you.
Well, my mom, she's a single household mom. She worked 3 jobs at one point when I was very, very small with me and my older brother. She always worked hard. So that ambition and that drive that she had really impacted for myself. So knowing that she's working hard while I'm at school or while I'm at a workout or while I'm at football practice in general, from pee-wee to high school, it just really just honestly showed that I have to work for her. And with God coming into the picture, her and my grandmother made sure that I would attend churches. I would hear the word every single day, that I write down the scripture every single day. So I just kept God first and stayed humble like always since I was born. So just with that, adapting to that and just adapting to that mindset and never changing up and them being on my side, it just been a blessing. So.
And now you mentioned that you played ball at a couple of different schools in the DC area, but the final school, I believe, was the Avalon School. And there was some pretty strong D1 interest in you coming out of high school. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And now take me through your recruiting process and just kind of how that all went down, because you ended up taking the JUCO route.
Right. See, well, unfortunately, I was unable to attend any of those interested schools because of just academic problems. Didn't really do too well. Really didn't stay focused as much throughout high school with a lot of distractions and moving to schools and such and such. So I had interest from Virginia Tech, Alabama, Clemson, most FBS, most FCS schools, but it just didn't work out at the end. So I haven't taken the junior college route really gave me a chance to start over, start fresh, and be mentally away from every distraction that could be from home. So we all agreed to go to Arizona Western, and that's what I did. So, and then it's been the biggest blessing I ever met in my life.
And I think you're staying a little too humble, because ever since that you've gotten to college, you've always been around a 3.0 GPA. So you really do take your academics seriously, and you've mixed that with ball so well. So maybe if you could just talk about what that turning point was for you once you got to college.
Well, like I said, once I was in high school, I was really academically ineligible to either take a Division I offer. So it really hurt me deeply. And so I made sure when I got to school and college where it's a scholarship on the line and it's no longer a free education and such and such and such. So I had to make sure I kept up with my academic promises that I made to that Coach Minnick when I committed there. So I made sure every day I was in the study hall room with Mrs. Minnick and worked hard every single time through any classes, any struggles I had. I worked 2 times harder. It's the same mentality I take on that field and the workouts and the weight room and such. I had to bring it to the classroom. So that's what I made sure I did.
And now, what was your first experience of JUCO ball like? Did you get out onto the field and were you like one of 15, 20 defensive linemen battling for a couple of starting spots, or did you go in there and did you already have a leg up on the competition? Did you already know what you're getting yourself into?
I mean, having a leg up, I would normally say I did, but at the same time, it was just a humbling experience coming from seeing bounce back come from Miami, from Florida State, from USC, and seeing those guys and how technique sound they were coming from Division I schools, and but then also humbling how they would respond to the JUCO life, where a kid from DC, that's normal or that's a privilege to have a meal card every day and have 3 stable meals and have a decent place to live rather than coming from the D1 life. So I was the only guy that played both sides of the ball. I played O-line and D-line, and that's one thing Coach Minnick always loved me for is for me being explosive, being fast, being physical. So he knew he could use me on either side of the ball. And at one point in the game, I had to end up playing both O-line and D-line, and I responsibly very well. So, I mean, just that JUCO experience was just crazy. It was very humbling. It was a lot of emotional battles, a lot of mental battles, but it was a great experience for me personally, and I loved every minute of it.
And now you're talking about all that major D1 talent that you were surrounded by. So when you're sitting around and you're breaking down film with those guys, or you're just going over different, whether it's run moves, pass rush moves, whatever it is, what did you learn from all those different guys, and how did your game grow from conversations like that?
Well, my game honestly grew and just learning from my weaknesses. They will always coach me up, such as with stances, with hand-eye coordination, with hands first, feet would follow, just the basics, just the fundamentals of playing either side of the ball. So, I mean, I just made sure I listened. I made sure I came with the humblest approach I can and take all criticism and taking it intact. So now I'm at this point, it's where people are asking me for advice, and it's just like I'm just humbled by it because me playing majority O-line in high school and really transitioning to junior college to D-line and working into it and now being considered one of the best is just a blessing to me. So I just try to take anybody, it don't matter what age group, it don't matter what stage of play, D1 to D3. I just give the best advice I can and just keep God first and just being humble.
And what does that mean to you to only have played the defensive line for such a short period of time, but show so much promise? If you could just talk about how your game has already grown and then what you feel the max is for your talent.
My game has really, really grown in a short amount of time. It just took a lot of hours and dedication. I had, of course, coaches help me out that I attended at University of Central Oklahoma for a little bit with Patrick Hill, and even to this now where I'm being home because of the quarantine and COVID-19 outbreak and stuff. So with my coach Cam Spence. So just keep learning. The reason why it grew so fast is because I just always wanted to learn new stuff or learn a new way to get off the ball faster or learn a new way how to read blocks quicker and learning formations of offenses, which I would already know because I played offensive line, and on top reading the backfield of the offense. So reading the running backs' tendencies, the O-line's tendencies, the quarterback's cadence, and just little stuff like that you have to really just continue to learn. Even if you think you know it already, just relearn it to keep it fresh on the mind.
And no, you were actually fortunate that you and the rest of the squad at Valdosta State were able to get spring ball in. So maybe if you could just take me through your spring ball experience and how the team was looking.
Wow. Yeah, before all this crazy stuff happened with COVID, it's just we had a great chemistry. Like I just came in to Valdosta State this past semester, and they came at me with open arms. Very humbling, very shocking, and the difference I saw was the more fun they were having on the field and off the field. Just having great chemistry together and just opening up and just being a family type environment, but also a championship environment. So with that being said, it was just wow. They had patience with me learning the technique of their choosing. They were just patient at work. So the coaches, like Coach Goff and Coach Stalker, just stayed on me and told me to just stay humble, just keep working. They saw how much I worked hard and So did the players. So in the spring game, it just took off and just showed what I can do this upcoming season. And this sky's the limit. So we're definitely going to be back on top. I can damn near guarantee it. But we just got to keep that humble approach, though. Just keep that hard hat working.
And then now, if we could maybe put the spotlight on you for a couple of minutes, because you've deflected on that. Maybe if you could just talk about what your expectations are for yourself personally for this upcoming season, and then maybe in what ways you were being utilized on the D line during spring ball.
Well, my expectations are just I hold myself to a high standard, so I want to just be the best of the best. I want to be the All-American. I'm shooting aiming high for this season because I know how much is on me from myself and no one else. My standards are high for myself, so I just make sure I'm determined to get stuff done, whether it's in the weight room, if it's academics, or either it's on the field. So I hope to that my standard, and with that, it's just being smart. Or any little thing I do, watch what I put in my body, just the little things to help the bigger picture out. So that's what I do. And the way they use me on the defensive line is just I can play the one or the three, attack the shade, creating an out back on the line of scrimmage, just being smart, just playing physical and fast. I'm a big guy. I'm 320 pounds, but I can move. That's a lot of people know. A lot of people have seen. I'm very strong, and I'm just very, very consistent at play. There is weaknesses that I am currently working on that you see out throughout the season will get better as I go on. But it just takes practice, and that's why I never stopped working since March 13th before the outbreak happened. So, I mean, I was just ready to get back to work.
And I can second that. You pointed me in the direction of a couple of your videos, and when I saw the footwork, I forget exactly what I said back to you, but I believe it was something like you have some nimble feet, or you definitely move well for a big man. So if you could just talk about, just finally before we move on to a fun little part of this, if you could just talk about exactly what that has been like for you to stay disciplined as you've been away from campus and you're adjusting to a new role, a new locker room, and just how you've been able to, I guess, really kind of adjust and get to know the guys and get a feel for the locker room as you've been away.
Just staying in contact through social media. You know how this day and age is with Twitter DMs and just stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And me posting the videos and they're posting their videos is just showing how hungry we are to get back together and get back to work. So, I mean, just taking off this quarantine time, me having the blessings to have a gym, Monster Maker, and have Selton Hodge train me and to have Cam Spence train me at the University of Maryland, and just having the opportunities to just train back home and learn new things from them and continue to get as stronger as I was after spring ball, and just having the footwork get right, just reteaching techniques and just learning new stuff, just simple stuff like that. It just brings that excitement to get back to the guys to show them what I learned. They show me what they learned, and we just keep pushing each other to get back to a national championship.
And you just get after it just like that.
Yes, sir.
Now, Corey, we spent a lot of time on the field. Are you ready to pivot? You ready to move away from the field? You ready to get the tough questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to hit you with the hard one first. What is that song that you like, but you're embarrassed to admit you like?
Honestly, you said a song, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
It would be Teddy Pendergrass, TKO. My mom used to always play that every Saturday or Sunday when she's cleaning up and stuff like that. So, I mean, I might put that on in the room and I come out there think I'm crazy or something. They'd be like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? That's kind of old. But at the same time, it's just like that's whenever I want to talk to my mom, I know she's at work and she's busy, that's what I would want to listen to. So I just play oldies all day. I'm just the old guy.
And you know what? I'm starting to think that everybody's mother had a song that they played while they were cleaning the house. What's that dream car for you, Corey?
It's a G5 Mustang. Nothing too serious that I always seen guys that mentored me have, and I just that matte black is just so good with the black tires and sweet. So hopefully next year in a couple years, I get to my dream, I get to my goal. I'm good. I have it right there with me.
Now, what's been the most interesting class that you've taken in college?
That'd be theater. Theater is the most interesting class ever because it makes you go and see where you have to be someone else for a change instead of being yourself. Most likely you have to be yourself when you have a normal conversation, but you have to read off these lines and pretend that you're somebody else. So being in phase into that has really shown me how to react to certain things. So I just theatered, honestly.
That's a pretty interesting class. Now I'm gonna really put you on the spot. What's the best restaurant close to campus?
Honestly, I'm going to keep it short and simple. It's everywhere. Chick-fil-A. That's my favorite thing. Chick-fil-A is my favorite. I'm not going to lie to you. That's my little cheat day. I'll go to Chick-fil-A, get me a sandwich and some fries and a little lemonade, but I make sure I have a jug of water next to it just to balance everything out.
So you don't care. You're not going to go out on the time. You're not going to try to find something. The only thing you need to find is the Chick-fil-A. See, I'm with you, man. But when I go to Chick-fil-A, I do the 30 nuggets. I just get the 30 pack of the nuggets. I just sit there and I just bang it out. That's me. I mean, hey, if you're gonna cheat, you gotta cheat, right?
Exactly. I'm a big boy. I mean, sometimes we gotta cheat. Sometimes.
Hey, and now Corey, we're gonna end it here with this. If you won $1 million and you could only donate it to one charity or one cause, what would that be?
It would be the Boys and Girls Club, just in general of how much they helped me so far is getting into Pee Wee football, allowing me to play Little League for free and just show me the game of football, the game that I love so much. I would donate it all to them. That's how, ifs, ands, or buts, because they open opportunities where in D.C. particularly it's nowhere to go. It's just a lot of violence, a lot of dangerous thing going around, but for those short hours that they're open, they give an opportunity to children just to go out and play and just go out and just be kids. So it'd be them.
That's a powerful thing right there, Corey. But before we get out of here, one final thing for all the listeners. What do they need to expect from the Valdosta State football program this year?
Another national championship. Simple and plain. All my boys are hungry. Even though I just got there, honestly, watching that West Florida game and seeing the devastation on their faces and the disgust of watching that film with them, it just brings that same pain as them. So another national championship.
You heard it here first. National championship. You're looking at the future D2 national champs in Valdosta, Georgia. For Corey Brown Jr., I'm Craig Forrestall. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
Anytime.
Hey everybody, Craig Forrestall. Thanks for tuning in and listening to another episode of That Sports Guys podcast. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @that_sports_guy to catch all the latest updates and podcast episodes. Until next time, stay safe and be easy.